Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. So we're about to start. If you want to leave in the chat where you're from and from where you're watching us, we're so happy to have you here today. And for the ones that haven't heard of us before, we are Real Estate IQ. So I'm going to show you just a little bit about us. We have more than 500 webinars hosted, more than 12,000 registered attendees, and more than 100 keynote speakers. So let me explain you a little bit about us and who we are. We are a lead generation software and solutions company focused on helping real estate investors like you kickstart their businesses. So we strive to become the platform and resource to help them achieve their real estate dream. And what do? We provide real estate solutions to make deals come true. And we offer a suite of lead generation automation tools, educational content, and additional services to the real estate industry to help entrepreneurs kickstart and grow their business. So this is the streamline of our solutions. We offer off-market leads to find the freshest data mined straight from the card houses daily on our data portal. We also offer events, great education led by experts and training on our solutions, skip tracing, get homeowners contact information effortlessly, CRM, perfect to track listings and marketing campaigns, virtual assistants, virtual support for administrative tasks, customer service, and more, FIRE, personalized financial checkups and consultancy, EVA, run real estate comps in seconds with our renewed evaluation CMA. CLM, we now provide custom off-market data mining all over 50 states. And last but not least, the membership. So we offer you tailored plans to meet every investor's needs. And today we bring you this amazing golden lead to grow your business. So you can contact us to learn more. You can scan the QR code that appears on the screen and you can sign up to get the full address and submit your deals to advertise. And we also encourage you to join us in our newsletter so you can stay informed with Real Estate IQ's weekly newsletter. You can get market insights, data updates, and even highlights, all you need for successful real estate investments. So by scanning the QR code, you will join us in our community. And you can also request a consultation, a complimentary 30-minute in-depth one-on-one demo of Real Estate IQ's solutions with one of our experts. So we will walk you through everything you need to know. For more information, you can contact Bracenet at realestateIQ.co or scan the QR code that appears on the screen. And also, if you answer the poll that should appear on your screen as well, someone from our customer success team is going to be in touch with you. And we are also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And by scanning the QR codes that appear below, you will have access to all of our news. So you can stay tuned with all real estate exclusive webinars and events. And this is the Academy Learning Made Easy. Here you can find our best webinars and short courses. So you can stream it at any time and from wherever you're based. So log into Stream so you can have access to all of the exclusive webinars. And also by participating on this webinar, you get a chance to win $50 of our customized lead mining. So with more events you attend, you increase your chances of winning. So today we have Alberto talking about how you can build a six-figure a month rental business using MLS, and we're super happy and excited of having him with us. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about him, but I guess he's better explaining himself and his career. He's a respected figure in the real estate industry who transitioned from his W-2 job in 2022 to become a full-time real estate investor. So his portfolio includes 4 short-term rentals and 4 long-term rentals, and he manages several STRs for other investors. So Alberto's real estate journey kicked off in October 2020 with a flip property leading to 21 deals and ownership of over 3 million in single family homes. So he also contributes as an accountability coach, completing, at the RWE Academy, teaching wealth creation through STRs. And beyond real estate, he is an avid ultra marathon runner, completing 300-mile trail races and numerous other races between 32 and 50 miles. So his expertise is a goal for us, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you everybody for participating, and we encourage you to write down all the questions and concerns you may have during the presentation in the chat box and the Q&A box, so he's able to answer them as soon as possible. So moving forward to you, Alberto, thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Thanks for that introduction. I don't know if I could have done it better myself, but I'm glad that you said that. I just want to thank Real Estate IQ really for putting these on and adding so much value to the real estate investing community. If you haven't linked up with them, she posted quite a few links there for you to link up with them one way or the other. And I want to thank you all too for joining tonight and taking the time out of your busy schedules and really just wanting to take some action and learn how you can build a portfolio like this through short-term rentals and really purchasing properties off the MLS. That's what's really cool. I don't know really how long the presentation is going to last. Maybe an hour, maybe longer, depends if people have some questions, but go ahead and get settled in with your favorite beverage, whatever that might be, and maybe something to take some notes. You're free to chat in the chat box as far as sending some questions there, or you can send them in the Q&A as well. But I just like to get started while I get set up here. In the chat, if you can just let me know where you're watching from, what part of the United States, or where are you watching from here? So just go ahead and put that in the chat and I'll get my screen set up here for you guys. Okay, getting squared away here. Let's see what we got. We have Texas, Apopka, Florida. Okay, Dallas, Toronto, Canada. All right, nice. Good. Okay, there's that screen there. And just kind of bear with me here. H-Town. All right, Sean, H-Town. Good to see you, Sean. Okay. Florida, Texas, Canada, Houston. All right, great. We have something, I think, for everyone here. It's going to be really cool to see how really my mentor, Ehab, he's going to be the primary focus here. And I'll go over a few things too on our portfolio and really how Ehab was able to build this six-figure a month rental business using only the MLS. It's really, really cool. So just some quick introductions. Just kind of reiterate what she talked about here just a minute ago. But yes, I did leave my job in 2022 and started as a full-time real estate investor. I've been investing. We closed on our first property in October of 2020. And now we own 4 short-term rentals, 4 long-term rentals, and we manage a number of short-term rentals for other investors. And since October, we've closed over 21 deals. That's obviously buy and holds that you see there. We've done some flips. We've done a few wholesale deals, some partnership deals, and really own now over $3 million in real estate, all single family houses. I'm also the accountability coach in the Rehab with Ehab Academy. This is a lifetime mentorship program that really teaches people how to create massive wealth and cash flow through short-term rentals. And then the last thing too is something I'm pretty proud of is being an ultra marathon runner. Started off running 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and then moved up to 50Ks, which are 32 miles or more. I'm sorry, those are 32 miles, and then 50 milers and 100 milers everywhere from Utah to Mexico City, Vermont, and even in Iceland. So I think that builds a lot of mental grit, and I think you need some of that in real estate investing. So this guy right here, he's the man of the hour. He's my mentor and coach, Ehab Shokri. And what he really does is he builds these short-term rentals, these Airbnbs that are just so cool that one time Houston rapper Slim Thug actually filmed a music video. in one of his in the Maltby Motors short-term rental. It was really, really cool. He owns 25 short-term rentals and manages, I think he manages close to 40 short-term rentals now with his property management company. And he still has a few long-term rentals as well. His short-term rental business brings in about six figures a month. And he's been able to do this in 4 years. And that's really the meat of this presentation. I'm going to walk you through how he was actually able to do that. He's the founder and creator of this Deal Smart Pro. It's an app designed really to help investors like you and me to make smart purchasing decisions. Super important. And of course, he's the founder of the Rehab with Ehab Academy. So good deal there. Right. So, he didn't really wake up one day and just decide that he wanted to be, an Airbnb host and just deal with people, really different people all the time. And that's what you deal with as a short-term rental host. He just wanted financial freedom and really to exit corporate America, as I think a lot of us do or have done that already, and spending 13 years flipping and wholesaling and owning long-term rentals. That just didn't really get him there. So with this strategy, he learned over 21 years and over 100 transactions. I'm getting close to you there. Flipping, wholesaling, landlording, residential and commercial, that finally allowed him to quit his job and gain time freedom. And that was through short-term rentals. I think at the end of the day, if your goal's financial freedom and trying to replace your job and income with long-term rentals, this is going to be extremely difficult. And flips and wholesales, they're just not really consistent. If you're not flipping and you're not really wholesaling, then you're not really going to have any income. Really, your highest returns are short-term rentals. And so what I like to do right now is ask you guys a question, and you can put it here in the chat. So why are you interested in real estate investing? Where do you think real estate investing can take you? So it's really, what is your why? Why did you join this webinar? What are you hoping to learn? What are you hoping to get from it? So go ahead and type it there in the chat. Just give me some reasons why you're interested in real estate investing. And then we're going to go over some of those things. All right, Vic, financial and time freedom. Oh yeah. That's one thing that you cannot buy back, and that is time. Super, super important. Definitely one of my biggest whys was financial and time freedom. Freedom travel, Jane Simpson. Freedom travel, time to spend with family and friends. Again, I think time is this consistency, right? All right. Carmine, financial independence. Karen, financial freedom. All right. I see a theme going on here. All right, good deal, good deal. So let me just go on here to the next slide. And really what this is right, financial security, creating a legacy, getting your time back, making your dreams come true, right? Sean, buy back my time and fell in love with the process. Awesome, awesome. Be your own boss, living life on your terms. And I think the biggest term, like the biggest word on this slide is freedom. And freedom it does mean a lot of different things for people. For me, it was the time freedom. The wealth that comes from, the generation of wealth through real estate, that's awesome, right? And I didn't really believe in my 401k anymore. I didn't think that was just going to do it for me, but it's the amount of time that I have and the flexibility that I have to do things with my family and to just plan things and not have to ask for a day off anymore. So that's what I was really looking for, is that time freedom, because I wanted to give more time back to my family and create those memories, right? So all good reasons. Great. You're all here for the right reasons. I love it. I didn't hear anybody really say to get filthy rich, but I think that might be part of it sometimes. Okay. All right. So really, this is a really, really cool saying, and I'll read it. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Just think about it. Let me read it one more time. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Screenshot it, print it out, put it on your board. Just something to remember, that real estate investing and being an entrepreneur, it takes hard work and it takes time. So keep that in mind. If you're willing to put in the hard work, you're willing to put in the time, then you can live the rest of your life like most people can't, because they're not willing to put in the hard work or put in the time. Okay. So what was the most important lessons that we learned along the way when it comes to financial freedom and building these real estate business and this income? For us, it was the ability to scale before you run out of money, right? So how good you get at scaling your business without running out of money. So if all of us were given $10 million, all right, we would all be able to buy enough properties to generate $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, definitely probably replace most of our incomes. But unfortunately, we don't all have this $10 million bankroll. All right. So how do we do this? We do this using a method called BRRRR, which BRRRR, I think it's for, but we call it BRRRR method. So really it's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and then repeat. But we spin those up as STRs, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, VRBOs. And then we also leverage private money, hard money lenders, and partnerships along the way. And that allows us to scale before we run out of money. Hope all that makes sense for you there. Cool. So here are the topics we're going to cover here. I'm going to go into some depth, some detail on how EHAB's six-figure a month portfolio was built and constructed. And then for me personally, and EHAB shares this as well, I'll go over our ideal target property on the MLS, how to set up MLS search criteria. We'll go over that. We'll search for some properties together. My secret, it's not really a secret, I'm gonna let it out today, but our secret for really making deals work on the MLS, and then some bonus tips for really crushing the MLS. So unlike some webinars that you might look at from time to time that are just kind of packed with information, I'm actually going to provide you some instructions, some action items you can just take from this webinar and start your real estate journey today. Okay. But hold on. I got to give you this warning. You have made me put this slide in here. I have to warn all of you that what I'm about to teach you may lead to some serious cash. Okay. So you've been warned. All right. So let me just start here first. These are a couple deals that EHAB closed out. He cashed out on these deals within 18 days, I believe. And he's got the dates here. You can see one in August and one here in mid September. And one of these properties, this is 2212 Rosewood. That was a property that he purchased, I believe it was in 2018. And he did something called double appreciation. All right. He kind of made that up, but I'm going to tell you what that means. He bought the property and he renovated it, right? So he forced that appreciation there, and he's held on to it since 2018. So you've got more appreciation there. But he operated it as a short-term rental. So instead of having a sixplex as a long-term rental and just maybe getting $200 or $300 a month per unit, he was able to spin that up as a short-term rental, which created massive amounts of income. So he was able to show that to his buyers, and he was able to cash out $537,499 when he sold that property. And then he also did a luxury flip here, 1214. So we talked about flipping and wholesaling, and occasionally you will have to do a flip or a wholesale just to kind of recapture some of this equity or capital that you might leave into some properties. And we'll kind of go over that a little bit later in some of the other slides. So one of the things too that EHAB does, and he teaches all of his students, is he teaches them how to do high quality renovations. And in this luxury flip, he went top notch on that. He sold it for $1.725 million. He walked away with $418,272. That's a pretty good payday, right? But with regards to renovations, when you're deciding on your renovations, you basically have three levels. You have Walmart, Target, and Nordstrom's. And you really want to be between Target and Nordstrom's, to kind of set yourself apart. All right. You don't want to be with Walmart. You just don't want to be there. Trust me. You guys seen that page, people of Walmart? Anyway, so let's move on. So here's a timeline really of how EHAB was able to do this in 5 years. And it's really, really interesting. So in 2017, he had accumulated or purchased 12 single family homes. And most of those, all of those were long-term rentals. He sold most of those. I think he has, it says here, only have 5 remaining, and he's generating about $7,000 a month there, and he bought those, most of those houses he bought for about $50,000 back in the day. I mean, yeah, we wish we could get some of those $50,000 homes these days, right? Uh, and then in 2018, that's when he bought 2212 Rosewood. That's the property that a 6-unit short-term rental purchased for 235,000, and he sold it for 1.2 million in 2023. So 5 years later, and you saw all of that cash that he was able to generate from that. Awesome, awesome. In 2019, he bought 3404 Rosedale. It's a 2-unit short-term rental. He purchased that for 198 and currently valued at 750,000. And that 2-unit generates about $15,000 a month. Okay. 2020, he bought 1912 Arbor, 4-unit short-term rental for 320,000. They actually sold that one for 795,000 in 2021. So he held on to it for about a year, generated some income through short-term rentals, and you can see he more than doubled the value of the property from when he purchased it in 1 year. Amazing. The power of short-term rentals and the power of doing the proper renovations and buying the property right. 2021, he bought, we call it his flagship property, 2210 Barbie. It's a 15-unit short-term rental. I call it a boutique hotel. He purchased it for $815,000, currently valued at $2.5 million. 3 times what he bought it for. He generates $56,000 per month on that particular property. Awesome. And then he bought 805 Maltby. That's the converted mechanic shop. That's the one of the short-term rentals where Slim Thug did his video. That's a 4-unit short-term rental purchased for $315,000, valued currently at $820,000, generating about $12,000 a month there in income. And then one of his most recent purchases, and we're going to talk about this kind of in depth here coming up, is 7029 Avenue E. That's a 4-unit midterm rental. So midterm rentals are basically like short-term rentals, but they're for 30 days or longer, but less than a year. So those are midterm rentals, usually for traveling professionals, traveling nurses, or maybe displaced families that maybe insurance companies can move families into these midterm rentals where their home might be flooded or damaged by fire and things like that. He bought that for $220,000. We're going to go over some of those numbers here in a minute. And that's currently valued at $595,000, and he generates $8,000 a month. So if you do the math here, I think it's about $92,000 in gross revenue, and he ends up after expenses probably keeping about 50% of that. And if you see this was all done in 5 years. And he's not buying a ton of properties. He's buying about 1 per year, right? So pretty awesome. And I'll just kind of go over here. So these are the actual MLS listings, just to give you an idea. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, you can just kind of take a look at some of these and go back and take a look at the old photos and see what they were actually looking like when he had bought them, right? So we remember Rosewood, he purchased for $235,000. Arbor, we remember he purchased for $320,000. What I want to focus on here, though, is the list price and his purchase price, because that's super important. The list price here, $250,000 for Rosewood. He bought it for $235,000. All right, $15,000 off. All right. Here, Arbor, he bought for, or it was listed for $379,000. He bought it for $320,000. All right, $59,000 off the list price. Not bad. Okay. Maltby was listed at $345,000. He bought that for $315,000. 7029 Avenue E was $243,000. He bought that for $220,000. And then I believe this is Rosedale, right? He bought for $190,000. He actually bought that for $198,000, so about $3,000 more. But I think what I want you to take from this slide is when you're running your numbers, and we're going to go through some of that high level here in a minute, you make the offer that works for you. Okay, so that's really what I want you to take away from this slide here, right? So by setting a goal of 1 MLS deal a year, just one, you can grow to a 6-figure a month rental portfolio, just like he did, right? So a big part of this was the Barbie, but by getting these properties 1 a year, he was in the position to get the Barbie by making connections with realtors. The agent reached out to EHAP with that particular deal, okay? So it's just a matter of putting in action, talking to real estate agents, creating relationships, and putting in offers. Okay. And becoming this serious real estate investor, agents start reaching out to you. Okay. But I think all of you on this call today could probably, no, I know you could purchase one MLS property per year. I know you can do it. And if you can do that, you can do this. All right, cool. Finding properties. So let me go over some ways that we find properties and some of our target investment areas. So really there's two primary areas that we look for that whenever we're investing: blue collar neighborhoods and developing neighborhoods. So blue collar neighborhoods, it's kind of self-explanatory, but really it's just those middle income areas where you maybe you've got some properties that are in disrepair or neglected or vacant. We're not talking war zones, but we're talking about just some up and coming areas too, right? And there's a list of zip codes here. So if I were you, I would screenshot this. If you're thinking, where do I invest in Houston? Where are the best places to invest in Houston? We're giving you the zip codes right here: 77033, 051, 011, 023, 047, 048. All nice blue collar neighborhoods. And then you've got developing neighborhoods where you see significant evidence of new construction homes or a lot of investor activity. You see older homes that are being renovated. And really, these zip codes, they are prime: 77004, 003, 021, and 020, right? All great areas to invest in, right? We're talking Museum District in Houston, Edo, East Downtown, the East River District, Third Ward, and Second Ward, all really great places to invest. Okay. So what properties do we look for? Like, what do they actually look like, right? They look sort of like this: dated, vacant, right? Needs work, right? Needs a lot of work. Honestly, the more work it needs, and really the smellier it is, I'm in. I'm in because it smells like money. We're going to turn that into money. But really, you're looking for properties that are in disrepair, because when you find those properties, you almost always can get those at a very steep discount. Okay. Vacant properties, super important. If the property is vacant, the property owner is not making income on that property. So that means they are probably motivated, okay, because they're losing money every month on that property. And we have to run our numbers, right? Will it cash flow, right? When we subtract that mortgage payment, that PITI from the rent or from the Airbnb income, like we want that to be a net positive, okay? And we are typically finding those type of properties and lower priced homes, okay? For me personally and Ehab as well, and most of the people in our program, we like the property to be within 30 to 45 minutes of where I live or where I work. Because the closer it is, then I'm going to be there probably every other day managing the renovation. And then once it's ready to go and it's launched and it's on Airbnb, I like to visit my properties once or twice a week as well. So something that I can drive to within 30 to 45 minutes. And then we follow something called the 70 to 75% rule. So if we have any experienced investors, or maybe you're new and you're just getting your feet wet, or you're doing your own research and educating yourself, there's a rule of thumb, is what we call it, the 70 to 75% rule. So really what we're looking at is finding whatever the after repair value is. So that's how much can I sell this property, or how much will it appraise for after I've completely renovated the property. And I'm looking at comparable properties in the area that are already fixed up. I find that number. I take 75% of that. I'm sorry, 70% of that, and I subtract my renovation costs. And that's usually the max offer that I can make on that property. Okay. So I'm using tools like Airbnb and AirDNA to help come up with some of the income numbers. I'm using tools like Deal Smart Pro to help me come up with the renovation numbers. And ultimately, I'm going to be walking the property with a contractor anyway. All right. And so if I do end up buying it a little bit over 70%, or maybe a little bit over 75%, I just have to be okay that when I go and refinance that property, that I'm going to leave a little bit of money in that deal. Okay. So, right. And another thing too is we're talking about price. Properties priced today, we think they're expensive, but 5 years from now, we're going to think that they were a steal. Okay. So don't sit on the sideline. You need to start investing today. 15 years from now, who knows? things are just going to be very unaffordable 15 years from now. So get into the game now. Okay. So this is how I search on the MLS, really. I start with the zip codes that I told you about in the previous slide, right? These are my favorites personally. And then I filter on single family and multifamily properties and a lot size greater than 500 square feet. So I'm not really interested in small townhomes. All right. And I want a 5,000 square foot lot or larger because I want to be able to add on square footage or maybe even add like an ADU, an accessible dwelling unit. Okay. That maybe a garage apartment or just another apartment in the back, and this is how we make deals work on the MLS. Many other investors, they aren't really looking at it that way. They're just looking at the existing property and trying to make a deal out of the existing property. So you have to get creative, and we're going to talk about the team that you may need to help you get creative in a few slides here in just a minute. Okay. Right. Then what I do on my MLS search, I'll sort my price from high to low because typically your fixer uppers are going to be the lowest price. All right. And then I'll click on the photos to make sure they are fixer upper properties. And I'll look for opportunities to basically remodel, like I mentioned before, add square footage to the property. And then I'll use larger remodeled homes in the area as a baseline for what my property could look like once it's renovated, right? So some people may ask, well, how can you turn, or how do I know I can turn like a 2-1 or a 3-1 into a 4-3? What I do is, and I go on the MLS and look in this same zip code, and I'll look for nicely renovated properties in the area. And if I see a 2,000 square foot home that's a 4-3, I go look at it. I go take a tour of it, and I will use that as my template. All right. The more you do this, really, the better you'll get at recognizing these deals. All right. The more renovations you do, you'll get better at this. And what ends up happening is, people will kind of underestimate or be too conservative with their ARV. And then they'll overestimate their renovation costs, and then they'll just price themselves out. They'll just offer such lowball offers that they're not getting any of their offers accepted. Me personally, what I've learned is I'm going to do a high quality renovation. And honestly, I'm only competing probably with the top 10% of the properties for sale in that area. The other 90%, they can't touch me, right? They just can't. So I'm going to be at the top of that ARV estimation every single time when I'm doing my analysis. Okay, cool. And then finally, there I mentioned it before. I use the Deal Smart Pro tool daily. Really, when I'm analyzing properties, I'm using it. It's allowing me to estimate renovation costs. I put in my purchase price, my ARV. It's letting me know, am I buying this at 70% or below the ARV? It's giving me an idea of what my max allowable offer is going to be. And it even takes me all the way through refinancing the property, like how much am I going to get back on a cash out? And then I can plug in the AirDNA numbers that I got. These are all estimates, and it'll tell me what my expected income or what my estimated income would be as a short-term rental. Okay, really, really awesome tool. So, and then when you're setting up these searches, and I'm going to go through a search here in just a minute, you can save these searches on the MLS. Actionable items for you. These are things that you can do today if you're not doing them yet, and you can start receiving properties directly to your inbox. All right, so no excuses. You can do this, do it now, and then you can start getting these properties in your inbox, and you can start analyzing these deals. Okay, you have to create these wealthy habits if you want to try to create wealth and you want to try to have that financial freedom. Okay, you're looking at emails of deals every single day. Okay, you see a deal that piques your interest, call the agent, contact them right away. It's just a conversation. Okay, and with them, use them to make the offers for you. Okay, when I'm doing these searches too, and I'm saving these, I'm not necessarily just limiting to like a specific price per square foot, because I'd like to see what are renovated properties. So more expensive properties, what are those selling for? And I want to see everything that happens in this area. Are the properties newer or are there new construction? Basically, it allows me to keep track of the price points. And this is super important to know as an investor. You want to keep your finger on the pulse of the area you're looking in so you can become an expert in that area. So then you can start making offers quicker, faster. Okay, because time's of the essence. All right, so let's give it a try here. So I want to try something. We're gonna go to the MLS. So let me just go here for now. So you should be able to see my screen here. This is the MLS in Houston, horror.com. And we're just gonna start with, let's see, I had one picked out here. Okay, yeah. Let's just try 77011. All right, so there's 127 listings for sale. Let's go there. And this is just kind of what I was talking to you about here just a minute ago. I want to go and do a filter. All right. And I want to filter for single family and multifamily. And my lot size, that's super important. I want my lot size to be at least 5,000 square feet. And I'm not really worried about anything else right now. So let me just click on search. That comes up with 41 results. And what I want to do is I want to sort by what? I want to sort lowest to highest. So lowest first. All right. So that gives me some properties here starting at 165,000. And you can see just from the cover photo, yeah, these properties do look like, some of them do look like they need to be fixed up. This one's under contract here, so that's cool. But let's kind of go over a few of these. So I've got 409 South 72nd Street. I've got that one open, and I've got 7330 Avenue I open. So here is 72nd Street. And I'm just going to look at the photos here really quick because remember, I want to see, is this a fixer-upper? I can pretty much tell it's a fixer-upper, but let me just take a look. Yeah, you got vegetation growing up here. It gives you a street view. Okay, not bad. A lot of junk. Yeah, full gut remodel on this thing. So this meets my criteria, at least on the surface. It's a fixer-upper, and it's in an area that I'm looking in. And this other one here, 7330 Avenue I think that's an I. It's got 6 photos. Okay, they all look like doo-doo, not too good. So I personally I prefer properties that don't have photos. Why? Is because a lot of investors are just going to go right past those. They need to see photos. No, I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to call the agent, and I'm going to set up that showing, and I'm going to go walk that property, and I'm just going to go the extra step that a lot of investors they're not even going to think about doing because they need to see the photos from their computer. They need to be sitting in their nice, comfy chair and click through all the photos in order for them to make the decision. I'm going to go call that agent, and I'm going to go look at that property. Okay. So let's see. So then when you're looking at these photos too, you can start saying, okay, this is a full gut. And we use a tool like Deal Smart Pro, and it allows us, it has a really cool slider that we can plug in the square footage of the property and say it's either just a minor renovation, a major renovation, or a full gut. And it'll give us a high level estimate to begin with. And, you know, as you get experience on this, you're going to start to build relationships with realtors. And as you start to buy properties, you know, realtors just really like to work. We all like to work with people that we know, like, and trust. So you want to go through this process of evaluating properties. And then another thing I do here is I'll kind of scroll down here and I want to look at properties that are pending, fixed up properties that are pending. So I'll just kind of scroll down here. Let's see. Keep going. Okay, here we go. 10 Oldman Street. All right. Under contract, pending, $399, $999. I happen to have that open here. I wasn't prepared. Here we go. Let's look at some photos. All right. All right, not bad, not bad. I like it. I like the pop of color. Oh, I like that wall right there. I like their choice of these wood tones with some of the darker paint, darker shades, darker window coverings. I like the gold accents. Like they did a pretty good job staging this property. You got a quartz island there. You got shaker cabinets. Really nice renovation. Really nice. Modern feel to it. That accent wall is chef's kiss. Love it. Accent wall looks good. Cool. Yeah, I'll just kind of click through the photos, take a look. Spacious. Oh, that's a spacious bedroom there too. Nice. Patio door to the outside, private. Nice. Love it. These gold accents, they're killing it. I like it. I like it. All right. Backlit. These are pretty cool. These backlit mirrors. I like those as well. Okay. Oh, nice spacious closet. So, anyways, oh wow, look at that shower. That thing looks delicious. Amazing. Love that. All right, cool. But you get the picture. So the point of looking at this particular property is Or is there anything that has been fixed up that's for sale and that's under contract? And it kind of gives me just an idea. Okay, 399, man, 400,000. How big were these properties? This was 1394 square feet. This one was 1108 square feet, and this one was 1912. Just back of the napkin kind of stuff here, right? Is okay, maybe I need to add some square footage to those properties to try to get this ARV of 400,000. So those are just some really cool things to know. Okay. And again, these are just back of the napkin kind of thing. You really want to call a realtor to help you get real true comps to help come up with that ARV. All right. So let's get back here to the presentation. Here we go. Cool, cool. All right. So how do we get the MLS to work for us? Right. It's having the right team. Okay. And the right team really can help cut your costs and allowing you to offer more competitive offers. You know, then you have getting creative. Okay. We talked about this. Oh, we talked about adding square footage. Well, how do I add square footage? You want to leverage an architect, and that architect is going to help you find ways, right, to add square footage and increase that ARV. Okay. And you're looking at other properties in the neighborhood to help come up with that blueprint. Okay. And then you want to make strong offers. You want to create offers that let the sellers know that you mean business, that you are serious, and that you have the ability to close hassle free. All right. And we're gonna go on pretty much step by step on how you make these strong offers. Okay. Cool. So this particular one, we're highlighting this one because this is one that E have purchased recently. And recently, like I think it was around March, September, or somewhere around September of last year, I believe it was. So we have weekly coaching calls with EHAB, and this particular property, which I must admit, did show up in my search, but I didn't take a crack at it. I just kind of scrolled on. He had brought this up in the coaching call, and he brought it up and said, let's take a look at it. Let's analyze it. So he started analyzing it with us on the call. He called his agent, said, hey, this property looks pretty good. I'm thinking about, I think the ARV might be this. I'd like to put in an offer around this. Tell me what you think. His agent hung up and called EHAB back 5 minutes later and said they are open to that offer that you'd like to put in of 220. And so then what EHAB did at that point was he set up the walkthrough, and we're kind of going to go in through some of those details as well on how he did that. Okay. But as you can see from these calculations, people say, I don't have a lot of money to get in to be investing, to start investing. I will admit it does help if you do have money. Okay. You can't do it without money though, but it helps, and it's a lot safer if you do have money, you do have some reserves. But EHAB only brought $7,600 to this particular purchase. All right. He got a total loan. It looks like maybe 400,000, 400,000, 408,000, but his ARV was 547,000. He purchased the property for 220,000, and his rehab budget was for 150,000. And if you have a calculator out, that is about right below 70% of the ARV. All right. How can he buy this property for a little money down? Well, most hard money lenders will lend up to 70% of that ARV. Okay. EHAB, if you look at some more of these numbers, actually paid a little bit more than 70% because he had to get furniture. Okay. So how was he able to get financing for the furniture? Well, it becomes with relationships, because he had a proven track record with his lender and he had a solid relationship with his lender. His lender was lending him a little bit more than 70% of the ARV. So he got the whole purchase funded for him. Okay. So let's see here. And as you can see at the end, he did this cash out refi, got $27,000 back. So almost a true burr. He probably left a little bit of cash in there from his holding costs, interest payments, things like that. But right now, he's grossing $8,000 per month on Airbnb, and he's netting about $2,000 in profit. And he's got these set up as studio apartments, and he's renting them out as midterm rentals. And I'm going to show you some before and after photos here, and they're pretty amazing. I'm going to show you here in just a sec. Right. So he used the tool as well called AirDNA. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. So, and this is free, airdna.co. So you can go to this website, you can type in a property address like 7029 Avenue E, change it to studio, 1 bed, 2 guests, and it's going to give you some estimates based off comparable properties in the area that are also short-term rentals and mid-term rentals. Okay, so this was per unit. You multiply that by 4. So AirDNA was estimating about 88,000 per year or 7330 per month for Avenue E. He's actually beating that number, getting about 8,000 per month, right? So really, really good data there. So here's some before and after photos. You can see here, this was a 1676 square foot 4 unit. You have 2 units down on the first floor of this front building, and then a third attic unit. And then you had another 4th unit here in the back. It was like a little tiny home, this back house apartment. Okay. This is what it looks like after. Look at that transformation. Pretty stinking amazing. But he did this addition right here up front and this addition here at the top to create a true apartment in that attic space. So he's got an apartment upstairs, he's got an apartment to the left and to the right downstairs, and he's got a really, really cool tiny home with a loft in the back of this. And I'm going to show you some photos here in just a minute. If you want to screenshot this, that's a lot of typing, but I can just show you some of these units here of what they look like before and after. So let me just go there real quick. There we go. So this was the original listing. You can see he bought it for $220. Yeah, it was about September 30th of 2022. Let's show you some photos. You can see what the property looked like outside. This is what it looked like inside. I actually went with him to go look at this property, and we met with his architect and designer, and we're going to talk about those people here in just a minute. And you can see it's just pretty ugly, you know. And that was pretty much it. They didn't even really give anything of the back house because it just looked like pretty bad. So let me show you what it looks like now. Here's one of the studios, and they're all studios. You can see awesome design. Furnishings look modern, super comfortable, nice open space. You know, all the amenities you would expect in a midterm rental. All right, if you're staying for 30 days or longer, you've got a working space here as well. Pretty amazing. Bathrooms, very comfortable. Patio area and in-unit laundry areas. Like those are really, really cool. This patio looks really good. So just kind of go over here too, just really quick, kind of scroll through. Kind of looks the same. Artwork has changed. Some of the furnishings have changed, but you know, he's just going to buy 4 of everything, right? And just keep it simple. Nice accent wall. You'll notice these mini splits here too, and I'll talk to you about why he used mini splits here as well. Spoiler alert, cost savings. Okay. Really, really cool. Look at the back of this. I mean, man, that's really nice. Cool. And I'm gonna save the last one here. This is another one of the lofts. Some nice wood tones. Now that accent wall looks really cool. Amazing. Okay. All right. And then this right here is really nice. This is the tiny home with a loft. Really, really cool. Look at that view from the loft. I mean, I'd love to stay here for a few days. Looks pretty neat. All right. All right, cool. You get the picture. Look at that. Board and batten. That looks amazing. All right, cool. You kind of get the picture there. So let me get back here to this presentation here. So really, how did he make this property work? You know, he had to get creative. All right. And by creative, I showed you how he added those additions to that front building. He was able to increase the ARV. He used an architect and interior designer to create that modern and functional design, you know, and included that tiny home with that, you know, that was a major cool factor is what he says here. He increased the rent, which ultimately drove up the value for his refinance. So by increasing rent, so if he just rented these out as long-term rentals, he may be able to get maybe $1,000 maybe per unit, but I believe he's getting anywhere from 1,600 to 1,800 per unit on those particular properties per month. All right. He used mini splits, right? Instead of that central HVAC, he saved $15,000. And he was able to use mini splits because of the design of the studios. You got this open design, free flow of air. Awesome idea. All right. He kept most of the structure to the property, so he reduced his framing costs. He utilized his network to help him find budget-friendly contractors to lower the overall budget, rehab budget. Strong offer. This is what I'm talking about here. No option period. When Ehab went to do the walkthrough for this property, before he put his offer in, he brought his contractor, he brought his architect, and he brought his designer. They all met there. I was there with them as well. So he got all of these numbers really, really fast. He didn't have to have people coming in. He didn't have to put this under contract and put in an option period and try to do due diligence. He did it all up front. And that was great because then when he puts his offer in, no option period. That's like music to a seller's ears. It really is. No option period. He also sent over his list of properties from HCAD with his offer to just prove to this seller, hey, I'm the real deal. I'm a serious real estate investor. I'm going to close on this deal. And he offered to close in less than 3 weeks. And he bought it as is. And he also coordinated to help the tenants move out. So you really want to remove as much friction from these deals as possible whenever you're putting in your offer. So think that way, okay? Not what's in it for me. How can I help this seller out of this deal because I already know what's in it for me, okay? So when people say, right, you can't find great deals on the MLS, I just showed you some. And that one he bought in September, okay? They're right. You have to create these deals on the MLS, okay? So making strong offers, what does that mean? Okay, so we've got a slide here. It's got a lot of information. I'm just going to go over this. Maybe you screenshot it. This is a good one that you can just put into your notes. The majority of these fixer-upper properties, yes, there's going to be investors that are making offers, lowball offers on these properties, and there's probably going to be wholesalers as well that are trying to lock up these deals. And most of the times they overpromise and they underdeliver. They end up terminating the contract anyway, right? Your offer is to stand out from those tire kickers and those inexperienced buyers, okay? So you want to carefully think out your offer. You want to support your offer with facts and comps and even your quotes from your contractors. You can put those in the offer, okay? It's always best really to talk to the selling party or talk to the real estate agent, build rapport, or maybe if you can pull out some information, what's the seller's motivation? Does the seller have a bottom line? If you're talking directly to the real estate agent, those are super good questions you want to ask them to try to get some of that information out of them. Never, ever send a blind offer without having a conversation with the real estate agent first. Because really, they probably receive so many blind lowball offers, you're not going to be taken seriously. All right. And then you want to leverage the resources you have when making your offer. Okay, this could be your pre-approval letter or your bank statement or a list of your properties. All of these things shout to that real estate agent and to that seller, I am a serious buyer. Okay, that's what you want to communicate to them. So here we go. 4 points of making a strong offer. You want to base it on facts and data. We kind of talked about that. All right. The seller or the agent's going to ask, right, how did you come up with that number? To be honest with you, I kind of asked the agent, how did they come up with that number on the sales price? But once I get that, it's a data point for me. But I'm trying to back up my offer with data. And I just let them know that, hey, here are my comps. Here are my quotes for my contractors. And, you know, I am running a business, so I do have to make a profit as well. But my job is to make this transaction as easy as possible and as hassle-free as possible. Is it a hoarder house? I'll clean it out for you. You have problem tenants? I'll take care of the evictions. I just want to grease this process and make it as easy as possible, right? Short option periods. If you can do 0, you've done your due diligence up front, you're typically not going to get professional inspection on a fixer-upper that you're just going to fully gut anyway. Maybe you do a 0 option period. I recommend anywhere from 5 to 7 days, but really no more than 10 days on your option period. And the fact that you can close quickly, okay? You want this transaction to be super easy. You want to remove any contingencies. You're not worried about appraisals. You already have your cash or your hard money approved, ready to go, so you don't have to go through traditional bank financing. And you typically don't renegotiate, but maybe you do find something in that option period, so you kind of leave yourself a little bit of negotiating room there if something comes up. But the goal for the initial offer, right, is to be be drama free. I almost said option free. That too. And then earnest money, right? Typically about 1% of the offer is about right for the earnest money. All right, good deal. Another way here, and I mentioned this in a couple slides, these are just some of the properties that EHAB owns. He sent this with his offer on Avenue E. All right. He sent it with his offer. Also, screenshots of his bank accounts. He kind of grayed out the numbers there, but yeah, it's probably just chump change anyway. Just kidding. All right, good deal. All right, really to summarize now. So we have so much success with the MLS really for three reasons. Okay. We get that higher ARV that other investors aren't really seeing because we're looking at it creatively. We're going to add square footage, and that drives up the price per square foot and the income for that particular property. We leverage our network to find cost saving opportunities to lower our construction costs to really try to fit within that 70 to 75% of the ARV. And we make strong offers, okay, while building rapport. Okay, we want to build rapport, we want to build trust, and we want to build authority with this selling agent. And we do that by providing data, by providing support for our offer. We do know what we're talking about. We are taking this serious. We have the data to back it up. Okay, all of those things are super important when you're making strong offers. Okay, but just to reiterate, right, you never want to send in a blind offer to an agent. Always call and discuss. Just pick up the phone. Okay, walk with them and talk them through your offer. Okay, you almost just kind of get a verbal commitment from them that your offer is going to be sufficient. Okay, and at least the agent knows why your offer is so much lower, right, than the list price. I think what I try to do with agents is by the end of that call, I almost have them on my side, almost working for me. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their seller, but I'm just creating this compelling story and of my offer with data to support it to where now they almost just want their seller to accept our offer. Okay. And you do that by picking up the phone. Okay. Text message, it's okay picking up the phone, taking somebody out to coffee, going to go look at the property with that agent. That's going to build rapport and trust. All right, cool. And two bonus tips. All right, two bonus tips for having even more success. So I'm gonna give you a couple examples here, really. Make the offer that works for you, regardless of the asking price. Okay. And if you're not good at making those kind of offers, find you an agent that is not afraid of making low offers. Okay, because those numbers work for you. Okay, there's no shame in making offers for numbers that work for you because at the end of the day, when you close on that deal, it's your problem now. Okay, that seller's done cashed the check and riding off into the sunset. So make sure you make the offers that make sense for you. So an example here, one of our students in our program, Amit, he made an offer that was $100,000 less than the asking price on his property on Cleburne, and it got accepted. Okay. Can you imagine how many people for that property didn't make an offer of $100,000 because they were afraid of what they might look like to anybody? Who cares, really? You know, and if your offer doesn't get accepted, continue to follow up every week or two with the selling agent. Okay, that's what Heather did. She built and maintained that rapport and got notified when they continued to lower the price. And because she kept that communication with that selling agent, when that price dropped low enough, that agent contacted her because she was at the top of mind for them. Okay. So those are two awesome tips here. And I got a couple more success stories I want to go over with you guys and gals, right? So here, one of our students here, just to kind of highlight, 4 months ago when he bought the property, his hard money lender, Jet Lending, appraised the property, the after repair value of 900,000 on the property. And he had his doubts. So Shab, I think that's who the student is here, had his doubts, and he had to pay $535,000 for the property. But then when it was done, it appraised at over $1.4 million. That's amazing. He added a big amount of money to his net worth, and he's operating it as an Airbnb, I believe, at this time, and killing it. Okay. Here's another example here too. Really cool. This property, 9 bedrooms, 6 baths. Yes, it's an Airbnb. Okay. But he went live 10 days ago because of what he learned in this program of doing high quality renovations or finding these fixer uppers off the MLS, making strong offers, having the right contractors and architects and designers, doing high quality renovations, doing a property like this. In 10 days, he booked over $20,000 in reservations. That is just simply amazing. All right. All right, y'all, we're getting here towards the end of our presentation, and I really want to just talk to you couple last slides here. What is the Rehab with Ehab Academy? And really what it is lifetime membership program for people that are looking to replace their income in 5 years or less. And I've just detailed you in detail, or I've just explained to you in detail how that can actually be done in 5 years. It is doable. And it's for people who just are serious about building a core business that can create massive cash flow and wealth through that double appreciation that I told you about. It's for action takers, 100%. And people who are coachable, like they want a coach who's been there and done that. Okay. Ehab, he's not a guru. I call him a duru because he's actually doing it still consistently. All right. And I like that because I don't want to waste time making costly mistakes. Okay. So the whole program is based on these 4 pillars, and I'll go over that really quick with you. The training and the tools, because we want to make sure that you are investing the right way. The private Facebook group, this is priceless in my opinion, because you get connected with the right people that are going to help with questions or are going to have experience things that you've experienced already, or have connections and resources and contacts for contractors that you may need for your project. Okay. Weekly group coaching calls. We have those with Ehab every Thursday. And I told you how he found that deal and got it under contract pretty much the same week that we had our coaching call. He called the agent over the phone. And then the pinnacle of this, really, to me, which I believe is the most important part of this program, is the one-on-one accountability part. So for the first 90 days of this program, not offered with any other program that I've ever researched, is a one-on-one accountability coaching call with me, the accountability coach. So my job is to make sure you are doing the work. You are taking these massive, imperfect daily actions to build your business and to be successful in this program. All right. I can go on. I've got a long list of students that have joined just within the last couple of years that have done flips, that have new short-term rentals, multifamily short-term rentals spun up, that have done partnerships, that have wholesaled some deals, that have found their first deal and have found their next deal. All of those people have gone through this program and been very successful with this accountability program as well. But it's about you and your mindset and you taking action. All right. So I've only kept you for a little over an hour to give you some more information here. You can write this down or take a photo of it, but you can go to rehabwithehab.com and you can get some more information there on the program. It's a lot more detailed than kind of what I went over here, just went over high level. And if you want to follow Ehab and me on Instagram and for more great real estate investing tips, you've got Ehab's Instagram here, rehab with Ehab _, and you've got 2 of mine, Run Invest, so RUNN Invest, and at Medellin REI. So there's some good helpful links there too, guys, if you want to just check out those Instagram accounts to get some more information. Cool. And let's see here. Looks like, oh yeah, we are offering a free 14-day trial for Deal Smart Pro if you're on this webinar. Okay, you can just go to dealsmartpro.com. You can sign up for a free account. You know, if you just want to kick the tires a little bit for 14 days, feel free to do so. And then after that, there might be just a small fee if you want to continue using it every month. But that's all I have. I'm checking the chat and Q&A. Let me see here. I don't really see anything in the Q&A. Looks like everybody was good to go. Well, if you don't have any more questions, that's going to be the end of my presentation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very, very much for your presentation. Amazing, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us. So we expect you everybody in future webinars. And thank you, Alberto. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.